Hello, hello. Here to do your Avad review. Um, all right. It's checktactics.tools, and it says Econ B, compositions S, items A, flexibility S, lastly, execution F. Okay, it's the most opaque of the metrics, so I can't really tell what's been going bad there. Yeah, I mean, without looking at your tactics.tools, what that means, what execution means, is that they're just looking at your boards and saying you are placing worse than what your boards are. So the two main like sources of that are like playing a weak early game and playing kind of like a poor like positioning late game. So yeah, those are kind of like the two ways that ends up occurring. Here is a nice seventh. Didn't watch it back, so can't remember exactly what happens, but it doesn't go great, which is good. True. All right. And obviously, there's a new patch today. I still think it's quite, when I watch these VODs, I'm really focusing in on like fundamental mistakes, ways that you're approaching the game that are not very good. And so I think, even though new patch came out, I think you can still get a ton out of a VOD on, a previous patch. But okay. Start off here with this opener. Definitely would want to hold on to the Deven pair here, plus the Darius in this spot here. We were also holding a lot of stuff. I can't do left and right here. Yeah, okay. So we have the Vex and the Aurelia pair. So great opener, honestly. But then we can just hold the Draven pair plus the Darius here. This is something I see a lot of people. I don't know. I guess below. Yeah, here. Can we hide toolbar? There we go. A lot of people, I would say, like below like master tier, kind of make this mistake a lot. Is just not holding the units that they should on stage too. It's just like, I'm not sure if it's laziness or like you're really confident that you're going to play this rebel opener, but you in TFT you want to have as many options as possible, and this is just getting a free option, right? You get to hold the Darius plus the Draven here, and if you hit a Draven to next shot, boom, you can potentially play around that. We do not really end up getting punished here, though. We get to hold on to a really, really nice opener with the Vex and the Aurelia here. All we need at this point is to pick up a last Rebel unit and maybe a Sentinel, and then we'll be, off to the races. This is looking like a great opener. We also have oh my god, okay. I mean, a lot of stuff to say about this spot. One is we have potential Guinsoo open, so it could be a really easy Rebel game. Two, we just picked up a Renata Glass, who is fantastic unit. If we want to play like a Renata comp, we have 4 Vexes already and 3 Aurelia, so it could be a Renata comp as well. So a lot of great stuff here. I would do a quick scout of the lobby here and see how realistic it is for us to play Renata. If it's at all realistic to play Renata, I think this is actually unreasonable here. I think Pandora's is actually a great pick in your spot because you have a bunch of 2-star units to itemize. If Renata is at all playable, then you can just take Pandora's and boom, we're into the Renata comp. So I think you should really look at Pandora's in this spot. And also, if you don't even like Pandora's, reroll Firelight Crown first, man. This augment stinks. Unless you're really like, I would always take Wandering here, but I don't think that's even true. I think if Renata is uncontested from this spot, Pandora's is fantastic. You play Renata in this spot, you just fish for some kind of decent tank item or decent AP item onto Renata. You already have decent components, but you can slam like, I guess like a Rod here and wait for Archangels, or even just wait for like tier type stuff. But yeah, I think you actually have a really good spot to play that augment. Upper mobility, I'm the carry now. I mean, upper mobility is fine. This obviously locks you out of the Renata comp. Between these three, I mean, I think Wandering Trainer 2 is just quite good. There's a lot of things this opens up. I would feel fine actually taking this, but maybe you're looking at just upward mobility. I mean, I don't think these are like much worse than upward mobility. So yeah, you're just going to take this. Maybe I'll drop it down to 1440p. Maybe my quality is too good here for my own good. But I think maybe your thought here is I can just take them to carry now, play. I mean, my thought would be Rebels from this spot. Definitely want to, I don't, you can hold the Renata here, right? Sell, or just get Visionary in. It should be sell this unit, and play Visionary here. But you could also go the other route of just playing the Morgana here, but we should get Renata in here. And you should, if you're at all thinking about playing Rebels this game, which you definitely should be in this spot, just make Guinsoo in this spot. Guinsoo is Zoe's best mana item because it oftentimes will delay her cast until after the Rebel procs and the attack speed from... the attack speed from Rebel helps her stack it up. So this is just an easy, I would say, Rebel game. And you just slam Guinsoo's and play into Rebel here, and you'd be very, very pleased here. I'm also surprised that we still have this Lux on the board. We should definitely be playing Visionary over the Lux, or if there's like a Sentinel you could get in, that would be fine. But yeah, we're just not actually playing our strongest board here as well. Okay, so this guy looks like he wanted to end up playing Renata, though I don't even... What's his Ornn item? We would have to go to his board to see what it is, but why is he not... Why does he have Living Forge with no Ornn item? Seems a little bit odd, but we'll see. Also, that was weird. It just like brought up my toolbar there, but okay. Overall, the spot is pretty good. Still, none of these units actually do anything on our board, so it would still be just playing the Morgana here on the board. I would never not like if you're considering not making 10 gold here and holding this Tris pair, I would never do this. So if you do that, I think we can talk about the idea. I mean, I guess even the fact that you're holding onto these. I would never do this. This is a common trap that people fall into in TFT, is they say, I want to keep my options open, right? I have a Gwinsu that could end up going on Tristana. Boom, I could play a Tristana game. The problem is you already have a great opener. So what are the chances that you actually play Trist from this spot? To play Trist, you have to give up this great opener. So you really actually need like a pretty high bar to end up playing Trist. You would need to hit like Trist 2 plus Urgot very, very, very soon, because Trist is also a comp that snowballs, right? You need to start getting the stacks early so that you can get more and more stacks across the course of the game on her explosive charge thingy. So I would never do this. And the last big problem here is that this actually prevents us from making gold here. And making your first 10 is hugely impactful for your econ across the entire game. So yeah, for those 3 reasons, okay, and you do end up selling, which I think is perfect. So good that we end up selling here. This fight is also a super Gwinsu's diff. If we had slammed Gwinsu's, we'd win this fight. We'd be on a 3 streak and our game would be really easy. This fight was also probably a visionary diff. So yeah, a lot of stuff that we could have been doing there. With Chain as our frontline component open here, Sunfire looks fantastic. I would absolutely take a Sunfire here if we can take it. Awesome. Yeah, this is the best single slam in this spot here. Sunfire Gwinsu. I mean, we would have easily 5-streaked this game had we actually slammed the Gwinsu, so it's a little sad that we didn't. Okay, please play. If we're not, okay, at least we're playing the Rel. Okay, I like this. No. It's not Nashers here. Because, I mean, okay, thank you. Yes, I'm happy that you make this slam. Positioning-wise, by the way, you should actually usually have Rel in the center, not Rel, Vex in the center of the board. Vex hits the adjacent units to whoever she's casting on. So ideally, you want her casting on the middle unit. So something to keep in mind there as well. You can hold on to a Morgana pair here. Once again, still, I would even just play the Morgana over the Lux here. But now you can actually play the Nunu over the Lux, and actually, like, your level up can be 4 Visionary, which would be really juicy. The only downside is you wouldn't be able to make 20 this round. But when you keep the opportunity to play a really strong board, I think that's fine. But yeah, this Lux, she's a good unit, but I think you've maybe bought in too much to the pro Lux propaganda that you think this unit is so broken that like you should always be holding it. But yeah, I don't see why we couldn't have 5-streaked this game. This last fight is pretty tough, but I think if we were playing our strongest board and we had Gwinsu slammed, we would actually still win this as well. And we're still going to win it even without playing our strongest boards. This is fantastic. I would definitely make gold here, but not in this way. I would still hold on to Morganas here. Yeah. Extra Irelias don't really do anything. You have enough removers that you can just move the items to your tanks later, so the extra Irelias are useless, and the extra Luxes are pretty useless as well. Singed is the only unit that you could think about. Like, I actually do kind of respect holding Singed in this spot, because you could play for like a 4 Sentinel setup, but I would have much rather held onto the Morgana pair. We'd actually have Morgana 2 here, and they'd be really, really pleased with our spot. These items are a bit awkward. You do have to make gold here, by the way. You have to sell Cassiopeia plus the Aurelia plus the Lux there to make 30, or we're just going to be broke the entire game, is now the kind of world that we live in, which is not my favorite world to live in. Item-wise, Guardbreaker tends to be really, really good for like Zoe, which is what I think we would be playing towards here. So I wouldn't mind at all a Gwinsu Guardbreaker GS here, and then leave the chain open for a tank item. I think that's perfect in your spot. I think you'd be very pleased with that. We also do have the 4 Sentinel on level up, so we can be pretty happy with that. I wouldn't make Steadfast Heart here if you're thinking about it. And I definitely wouldn't make double Sunfire here. Okay, I would love Guardbreaker, though. Nashers, yeah, I mean, if you just look at the statistics, and, like, you know, it isn't, like, it makes sense as well. If you just look at Zoe's 7 Rebel and you look at, like, Gwinsu's versus Nashers, Gwinsu's is, you know, a good bit better here, and you had the option to build both. Obviously, you should build Nashers sometimes when you have the option to build it, but this is also going to make the rest of our items quite awkward, right? We just got rid of our Giant Spell, which was our Guardbreaker component. Now we don't really have a slam out of the glove. So that's the other thing, is this slam is worse for our item economy and just worse for kind of like the max cap of the board that we want to play for. All right, quality over quantity, anger issues, buried treasures here. I mean, quality over quantity at 3-2. I mean, you know, it's solid, especially because we could have easily been 100 streaking at this spot. It's a little bit. I think it's a little awkward now. You really just want this in comps with a lot of units to itemize, and this isn't really a comp where you have a ton of units that you want to itemize. Is the problem? You oftentimes want to just itemize a few units in this. You're playing. It's like the Zoe show and the Alawi show, and then also like one other unit. Like the Jinx show eventually. Buried Treasures here. I think I would have actually just opted for Prismatic Pipeline for the same reason that we just talked about. This is not a comp that actually uses a ton of items very well. Also, you should level here for sure and play 4 Sentinel. That's your strongest board by far. TG actually is a little bit of a bailout. You're going to make IE. I don't hate it with the idea that it's going to go on to like Ezreal later, but I don't love it. I think I still would have just gone for the TG and kept those components open for Zoe, just because TG can even go onto the Ezreal, but okay. And yeah, we should be leveling this round and playing for Sentinel. If we're not going to do that, then just play the Nunu over the Lux. Yeah, it's just the Lux isn't really doing anything on our board right now. I mean, she's a good unit, sure. Archangel's here. I actually would have liked to see a static Shiv. I feel like this comp doesn't play for super. I mean, I guess your like all the items you slammed, I guess with the exception of the IE, make me think we're playing towards like a different line. Like the Nashers kind of plays better into like Dominators, and the Archangels plays like well into Heimerdinger. I guess I can just talk about like the main AP lines, and these lines are changing a bit with the new patch, but these comps will still exist because now we have this like 4 Sorcerer Zoe setup as well. But like going into current patch, like with things are right now, like this is kind of like the the way that mana items, like this is best mana item, this is best mana item, this is best mana item. Nashers is really good. I would have to look at Belt here. Yeah, Nashor's really good on Silco. Heimerdinger tends to want the Archangels, and then Zoe just wants like the Guardbreaker. Guardbreaker kind of good on everybody, honestly. You can get away with Guardbreaker on all of these units, but this is like they're kind of like unique items that they're interested in. If Sorcerer Zoe is like something that a lot of people are playing towards, which I think it should be, based on what I've seen, then like you can look at itemization. I would imagine then Guinsoo's is like gets a good bit worse, and then Shojin becomes a better item if you want to play for Sorcerer. But Guardbreaker is still really good inherently. This item should be really good onto Zoe. Deathcap's still fine, but yeah, Spear of Shojin gets a bit better than Guinsoo's in this setup, and Nashers then is even a little bit more acceptable with like the 6 Sorcerer version being played here. But you look like you're playing towards Rebels, but I feel like you just haven't slammed like BIS items for Rebels, which I mean I think it is just kind of like an understanding issue. I mean Rebel Spat here would be nice, but yeah, a bit hard to take. We have the Reforger. We can reforge one of these pans. I mean, okay, well, I guess we'll take a cloak then. And yeah, I mean, onto set looks pretty good here. Very tragic. Getting, even the pan and getting to reforge would be nice. I mean, surely we'll level now. Okay, yeah, you are going to level now at this point. We don't, we have 4 Visionary actually, so let's just play that here. Move items to Heimerdinger, I think this is. It's potentially fine. The downside is that Heimerdinger is not actually benefiting from Rebel at all here, so you have a 3 trait that's kind of useless now. And I think it's so crazy that we haven't leveled here yet. Yeah, 3-2 should be when you're looking to go level 6. The fact that it is 3-5 and that we still haven't leveled, and the fact that we were on a win streak is a bit crazy, especially because we also had something to level 4, right? 4 Visionary plus Bruiser in Nunu. Like, makes our board so much better. And we didn't even slam IE that round. That's a bit crazy as well. I know they like, I mean, you can do this. Yeah, I don't hate this. You get a static Shiv, and then just slam IE onto Vex. Sure. I don't completely hate this. And then you're gonna make LW here. So, I mean, our idea must be that we're playing towards Rebel this game. I don't really see another option available towards us. And I think if that was our idea, then we should have slammed some different items. But okay, still not a bad spot. 80 HP, 50 gold, level 6. You're not that rich actually. The Ambessa pivot, I think, is just too optimistic. I mean, you have a BT, you have good Corki items, but you're going to make a Shojin here. I think that's quite reasonable in your spot. I mean, yeah, I think it probably is going to be what you have to make here. Like I said, not ideal onto Zoe, but, not terrible. Yeah, you're kind of devaluing this because Nunu is just way... I mean, I guess this version of the board, you kind of can't play Nunu, but like ideally we should have been able to play around Nunu. Okay, we have Heal Cut. We have we need MR Shred still. So I think you would actually be looking at Onyx Spark here, right? We don't have a Shiv made here. So that's the downside between like for making Deathcap here is that we lose out on Onyx Spark value. I think Spark looks quite reasonable in that spot. Like Spark maybe JG though. You have so many AP items here, it's a little bit tough. Maybe like Spark Guardbreaker, and then you put the Guardbreaker on the Ezreal eventually. All right. Last augment here. Hell is Wealth, not amazing in this comp. Moonlight, not that good. I guess it gives you another unit to itemize. You could itemize like a Vex 3 in 7 Rebel. I actually don't even hate this. This actually seems kind of good. Just Vex 3 randomly on your board that can carry, because we have so many items. And then Cloning Facility is not very good. Not going to take Sisters here. I think this is actually your best option. It's a bit weird, but I think it is. Shield Bash here. I mean, is your plan to just play a Heimerdinger game and then these items are to go on Corki? I guess that's your idea. Which, I mean, if that was your plan all along, I don't completely mind it. These Heimerdinger items are pretty bad. Archangels is good, and besides that, you really like. If we were gonna play Heimerdinger here, you're probably not supposed to slam Shojin, and you're supposed to just try to greed blue buff off Carousel, just because it's so good. And it's not like you have like that much of a win streak to play for anyway, and you have a lot of HP that you can sack here. But it's just, I feel like your game plan would have been so much more straightforward playing into Rebel here. Now we like had to kind of make this pivot happen. But okay, I mean, we've kind of made it here, and yeah, I think you did put into planner here that you want to play a Heimerdinger game. I mean, we naturaled the Heimer. I like the flexibility, I guess. But I mean, it seemed like maybe you were always angling for Heimer because we were making, well, I mean, I guess these AD items you can flex between both here. So, I mean, this is the board at this point. It's not great. You do still need to roll a good bit. I guess the other thing is like, I don't really love the golem augment in this comp, just because you already have so much frontline. It's like, I guess you protect the golem a decent bit, but so much of your damage comes from Heimer. I don't know. I feel like you want this in a comp where kind of like the power of the comp is more spread out. But I don't know. I guess we'll see. Okay, so we have the static Shiv. We're itemizing the Lux at this point, which, you know, feels a bit bad, but okay. Take Cloak here for, I'm not sure what actually. I think I would have just taken Bow here. I guess you're looking at maybe itemizing another tank here, but it's like, it's not amazing. You have to roll like a good bit here, actually. Your board is not good enough. Like, you're not stable in this spot. You need to roll. You need to hit an Alawi here and just like be able to get 6 Sentinel. You need to find, I mean, you need to find a lot of stuff on this board right now. It's just you are going to lose a lot of fights because at this point in the game, like 4 or 5, it's just you start getting toward the point where you need a 2-star 4-cost carry and a 2-star 4-cost tank. I like to think about it like the stage -1 is what the standard carry is. So like at 4-1, and that's at the start of the stage. So at 4-1, like a 2-star 3 cost. At like, 2-1, a 2-star 1 cost. At 3-1, a 2-star 2 cost. For both the tank and the carry is like kind of what's going to be strong for the start of that stage. And then once you get towards like the back half of this stage, now you kind of need the 2-star 4 cost. Once you 5-1 hits, you really need 2-star 4 cost. Yeah, I don't know about that. Nah. One, you already have less Whisper, so the effect of like flat reduction is not amazing. 2, so much of the power in this comp, like Corki feels like a secondary carry in this comp to me. He does not really feel like the primary carry. And 3, I know you probably, like Corki shoots 21 missiles, but he doesn't actually like stack this 21 times. If you ever put a Gwinsus onto Corki, you'll see he does not stack up to 21 stacks. The tiny Corkis do look pretty cute though. But yeah, it's just not, it's not actually that good of a take here. If you are taking Cloak here, then I think Guardbreaker is pretty reasonable. But we need to roll here. I think it's so crazy that we're still sitting on this board, actually. We need to roll here for 6 Sentinel, for an Ezreal that we can get in onto the board. Like, eventually we can play Corki, but, like, probably not right now. I mean, this is certainly our strongest board to some degree. We'd love, like, a better unit in over one of these Sentinels. Even just Nami on this board would be a bit better to just play something. I mean, even... we could just play random Malzahar on this board as well. Like, you should be playing something over, like the Singed here. Singed is not really doing much on your board. I mean, he is a 4 Sentinel Singed, but Singed 1, not going to do that much compared to just getting in, like, a real trade. Even, Sork for the board is AP, and it's the Nami, just like the Emissary bonus. But please don't tell me we're trying to think of going fast 9 in this spot, by the way. Because that is not something that you can do here. I mean, these are not great options. I mean, probably another IE and then just another Declaw here. I mean, you have this death cap, which is really awkward. Because, like, these items want to go into Ezreal. So we have this death cap that's really awkward that we're sitting on. But there's not really much we can do about it. I guess you can reforge the death cap. I probably would. Any tank item goes frontline. Any AD item is good. And then AP item, you kind of end up in the exact same spot. Yeah, I think I would look at reforging this death cap here. Oh, wait, we never made Spark. Okay, so wait. We still we're playing Shift though because we decided to play Academy this game. Gunblade. I mean, it's not bad. I don't hate it. I still like because like we do want to play for Ezreal. And so like the idea is that just like IE is just such an influential item on him because he is like a caster. Nah, you're gonna go. I mean, you said you went 7th this game, so why can't you go fast 9 in this spot? The answer is you just have nowhere near the amount of gold to go fast 9. Because think about it in your spot, what you actually need to hit for your board to be stable. Because remember, we need to hit Heimerdinger 2, Corki 2, and Alawi 2 for our board to actually be stable here. We have 1 Heimer, 1 Corki, and 0 Alawis in this spot. So 8 gold for the 2 Heimers, 8 gold for the 2 Corkis, 12 gold for the Alawis. That's 28 gold that we need, not counting any rerolls whatsoever, not counting any other units whatsoever. So we need 28 gold minimum to hit all of those units on the rolls. I would estimate you need probably like 15 rolls. So call that 30 gold. So we need 58 gold minimum to get our board into the shape of actually being okay. And then you need to upgrade everything else. You need the Loris 2, you need the Leona 2, you need a 5 cost to play on this board. You need to hit the Jace or something like that, or really, just the Ezreal. But at that point, we need to hit Ezreal too. You probably need about 70 to 80 gold when you go 9 here to actively like feel like you're in a good spot here. And you're just not going to have that. Like if you level up here, yeah, I mean, your game's just over, right? Remember I said we needed 28 gold to hit our entire board like happily. Like 2-starred, and we leveled with less than 28 gold. So you're never going to have enough gold this game. And playing 1-star 4-cost carries this late into the game, you are just going to get punished. Sure, you push 9, but I would 1,000,000% rather have a Heimerdinger 2, an Alawi 2 here, an Ezreal 2 on this board than be in your spot here where we're level 9 and now we can find this stuff. But look, we found Corki, but the only way we're ever hitting Heimer 2 here is if you roll and hit a double Heimer next shop. It's just not happening. I guess you have 2 rolls because you could sell this Alawi, or not Alawi, the Irelia, the other I unit. But yeah, your spot is just this was just too fast of a fast 9. And I mean, it's just not a fast 9 that's makeable. I think had you if you had taken hedge fund as your first augment and you had an extra 40 gold, 50 gold in your spot, then you could have gone fast 9. So I would just be really hesitant to go fast 9 in TFT in general, unless you're insanely rich. Because yeah, I mean, at this point, the game's pretty tough. You probably take blue buff here and move over one of the Heimerdinger items to just like a random unit here, because I don't think Vow does that much for our spot. Like, it's fine. Honestly, you take blue buff and then you just like reforge Shoshin, or honestly, maybe even reforge Gunblade. Doesn't seem that good. But yeah, you have to roll to 0 here. Your board's so weak at this point. Rel 2, I mean, an upgrade's an upgrade. Roll twice here for sure. I mean, Rumble, get that in. Yep, over the Singed, very nice. We got Scrap in. No component to Scrap, but I mean, it's shield onto our units, which is not bad. And Rumble is just a fantastic unit, so we're gonna be happy about that. But yeah, I mean, looks like we're gonna die to, what do we actually die to? A Conqueror's board? Oh, it was just a Mordekaiser, and was that? Wait, you said it was a 7. There was actually a 6. This guy's Trundle 3, no trolling. What? That's a Trundle, right? I don't know what this guy's doing, but we still lost to him, so you can't even flame him. But yeah, okay. I mean, I think this game was just, I mean, the big idea of this game was just a mismanagement of your econ. You'll never, and this is why, like, I talk about, like, this patch or next patch doesn't really matter. Like, this is a mistake that, like, if you don't fix it, you will be making every patch. It's just, you do not have enough gold to go 9 here. You just don't. You need, like I said, you need to be 9 with like 70 gold. The only way to do that would be delaying your 9 to 5 to 5/5. And even then, like, had you waited this long to go 9, you'd probably still be a little gold short, and obviously you'd be you might be dead by 5/5. So yeah, it's just not doable in your spot. I think if our idea was always to play Heimerdinger this game, then I don't know. I think some of our other item slams seem a little bit off. This Nashor's item I don't actually like that much on Heimerdinger. I mean, I guess if your idea is playing Heimerdinger, then like if this is your spot here and your thought is like, I want to play Heimerdinger here, what slams kind of do end up making sense? I mean, I would still look at just Guardbreaker GS actually. It's just Nashor is Yeah, I mean, I don't know if the stats back me up on this, but every time I've built Nashers on Heimerdinger, it's not felt that good. Heimerdinger is 6 cent here. I mean, let's look at it. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, a slightly negative delta, but you see, like these items are all way better. Even Death Cap, Guardbreaker, GS, all of these items are better. It's just Nashers. It just feels like overkill. Blue buff Nashers, just like, or even just Shojin Nashers, feels like overkill in the mana generation department. So yeah, I think just take a better look at something like this, like a tactics.tools, put in Heimerdinger 6 Sentinel, and just look at itemization. And I mean, you can see, obviously, I think a lot of people talk about these items, but like if you're curious, exactly like I did, because like, maybe the six sorcerer Zoe comp becomes more popular. Boom, plug it in here and see, okay, what looks really good? Guardbreaker, wow, is like incredible in the stats. GS is great in the stats. Shiv, obviously, Deathcap, Gunblade. There will be, if you just sort by delta, the reason I don't do that is you'll get some weird stuff like, I mean, honestly, there's nothing that weird here. Yeah, honestly, I would have thought you would see something weirder because, like sometimes if you look up, like, I don't know, Silco, I don't know, for Dominator, you can do tier 2 plus as well with stuff like this. And like, it'll say that, I mean, honestly, even these look pretty reasonable as well. So you could even sort by delta if you really want to. But yeah, hope the review is helpful. Let me know whenever you want to do another one. You go through Metafy. But yeah, all right, bye.